And there are several union ministers, several diplomats who are there with the Prime Minister. Geeta, India and Bhutan very, very close. A very tough situation at Doklam. Sushma Swaraj, Narendra Modi, the government, they held their nerve.
Absolutely, Gaurav. And maneuvered through those troubled times, knowing very well the sensitivities involved with Bhutan that felt so sandwiched between these two Asian giants. She understood exactly what that, she knew exactly what that meant for Bhutan and the government of Bhutan. And it's the reason why, Gaurav, you saw the balancing act and the balancing of ties done so well. I have to tell you this, that while there are a lot of problems that a lot of diplomats must have had, but there are very few who've had problems with Sushma Swaraj. I know for one that the Bhutanese ambassador has always had only praises for Sushma Swaraj, who dealt with all the issues very, very deftly. I remember the SAARC meeting that took place in Nepal. This was during Doklam.
Yes.
And given the sensitivities involved, they ensured that all the bilateral meetings were taking place with SAARC nations, and they were allowing the foreign ministers to meet with the journalists, whoever wanted to. But because Bhutan did not want to answer questions on Doklam, they ensured that there was some passageway or space made for the foreign minister so he can leave Sushma Swaraj's room, the meeting room, and go into his car to go into his cottage, which was all in the same premises of the same hotel. But the sensitivities involved was the reason why they took into account that. It's a different thing that we tried catching the foreign minister separately, but the fact of the matter is that there was engagement at all levels. Even at the height of Doklam, during the SAARC foreign ministers meet, she met with each neighbor. Nepal was concerned, Bhutan was concerned,
yes,
and ensured that the message of the government goes across that this shall also pass, and that India is a very important, very strong nation. They will ensure that the problem does not escalate, and it did not escalate. There is a lot of backroom channel diplomacy that took place, whether it was at the foreign secretary level with Jaishankar or at the external affairs ministry level, minister level with Sushma Swaraj. She handled it all. Also,
Daughter Basuri, we are watching these images.
What was happening
this is
on her,
extremely crucial. This is the daughter Basuri. She's conducting all the rituals. Husband Swaraj Kaushal standing there. This is such an important signal that is being sent out. A doting mother Sushma Swaraj was. She devoted time to politics, but she ensured she always had time for Basuri. Yesterday, Sumitra Mahajan, former Speaker of the Lok Sabha, she was also telling us how the mothers ensured that they had time to bring up their children, to ensure children also got time before they carried out politics, before they carried out full-time politics. They were very devoted to the party, they were very devoted to the country, but ensured daughter got all the time and the attention. And Governor Swaraj, former Governor of Mizoram, Swaraj Kaushal, her husband, he's always stood by her like a pillar of her strength. As Polumi was just telling us a short while back, that at times when he would come to the parliament, and he also held her hand as they walked up the stairs, which people found very interesting. And that letter that he wrote to her when she finally decided that it was time to devote attention to her health and not contest the 2019 elections. And she said this to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Former Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sering Tobgay, also seen in these images sitting right next to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP patriarch Lal Krishna Advani, the Union Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, the Union Home Minister next to him, Amit Shah. And that letter that he writes to her is where he says, "Madam, thank you very much for your decision not to contest any more elections. I remember there came a time when even Milkha Singh stopped running." This marathon has been on since 1977. 41 long years she was in public life. You've contested 11 direct elections, Swaraj Kaushal wrote to Sushma Swaraj. In fact, you contested all elections held since 1977 except twice, when the party did not allow you to contest in 1991 and 2004. Recounting her public life, he then went on to say, "You've been 4 terms in Lok Sabha, 3 terms in Rajya Sabha, and thrice elected to the State Assembly. You are contesting elections since you were 25 and fighting elections for 41 years. That's quite a marathon." And it indeed is. He then writes, "Madam, I'm running behind you for the last 46 years. I'm no longer a 19-year-old. Please, I'm also running out of breath. Thank you." And Geeta, that is such a sweet letter for someone who's been married for close to 50 years, who've been together for close to 50 years. Geeta.
Well, absolutely, Gaurav. They just celebrated their 44 years of marriage just a couple of weeks ago. They're college sweethearts. So yes, more than 50 years of knowing each other. They almost grew up together. They were children when they knew each other and grew up together. And it's the reason why the comfort that we see. It's not just this, where he thanked her for having quit politics, but also there was a time when during the election campaign, and all through the campaign, the BJP had decided to hit out hard at the opposition.